Hey, and welcome to a continuation of my 31 Days of Horror. This is the post-Toronto After Dark update. As I had mentioned before I started getting into the Toronto After Dark films, and I had mentioned that I was going to be going Asian, doing some Asian films. So the last film I believe I left off with was The Devil. And so the next film I came up with was Wishing Stairs. Also, I think it's called, original title is, I'm going to butcher this one, Yogo Godam 3 Yougyedan. Yeah, I probably just told somebody that their mother sucks goat eggs. But, hey, back to the film. Wishing Stairs. Essentially, this is sort of it's a ghost story, as a lot of Asian film is, and what the Wishing Stairs refer to is a set of stairs and this sort of legend around them if you are worthy and you count from the bottom of the stairs all the way up to the top. I think there's 28 stairs normally. If you are worthy, a 29th stair will appear and you'll be able to count to 29 and your wish will be granted. Now for most of this film it's a drama. It's the relationship between the two girls. Essentially it's an innocent type lesbian relationship, not necessarily sexual, but they're bonded. The two girls who are bonds, and there's obviously a little bit more than just being friends. Okay, Wishing Stairs. Wishing Stairs refers to a legend about some stairs outside of a school. I believe it's a school for the arts. That has 28 steps, and for those who are worthy, if you go up those steps, counting each step one by one, once you get to 28, a 29th step will appear, so you'll actually hit 29 stairs, even though there was never 29 stairs there. And if you get to 29 stairs, your wish will be granted. It basically there's two main characters. One is sort of like a prima ballerina. The other one is her, could say like her lesbian lover, though it's not really a sexual type thing, but more of a girl school experimentation. Just they're at that age where they're coming into their own sexually. And then there's a third girl who is really, really fat. Now, the really, really fat girl, she's worthy. She wishes to be skinny. And so she loses all the weight and such. The finding out about this, I'm guessing the one girl wishes that she was more popular or was a better ballerina or was the prima ballerina or would win. And eventually the prima ballerina dies, gets killed, and then there's some craziness going on between the fat girl who was infatuated with this prima ballerina, and then there's some, the ghost comes back and is haunting, and so there's some play that this fat girl is thinks she's talking to the ghost, but yeah, there's some play, and eventually it's a tragic ending, and it's got a great atmosphere, and once you figure out who everybody is and what their characters are and where they fit into the film, it's actually a quite enjoyable watch. This is part 3 of the Whispering Corridors trilogy. So, Yeah, wishing stairs. Next up was, and on this disc here it's called A Dog Called Vengeance, but the actual English title for it is just Vengeance, and the original title for it is El Perro. And if you didn't guess from that, El Perro is not an Asian film. It's actually a South American film. But it's really weird. It starts off and it's about some convicts and some guards, and essentially one convict gets out, and I guess this super tracker guard catches up with him eventually, and they end up in a tussle, and he kills the guard, and the guard sort of sicks the dog on him, so the dog essentially follows him around. But then he sort of... Yeah, it's weird because you would think that it would be sort of like a Cujo type thing where the dog's going after this guy and he's chasing him. But there's so much else going on in this story that it's so bizarre because this dog isn't there a lot of the time. But then out of nowhere, he just pops up. And he manages to follow him like into different cities. So it's really, really weird. Not scary at all. A little hard to follow, and not at all what you think it's going to be. It's pretty straightforward at the beginning, but then because you're thinking it's going to be this dog trying to kill this guy movie, but it is and it isn't. And a lot of it isn't after that point. And you're just like, where is this tangent going? But yeah, it's... well, yeah. I'm not exactly going to recommend El Perro. The second movie on this disc is Scorpion Thunder. Or Thunderbolt. Scorpion Thunderbolt. Which, if you know anything about that name and this particular genre, it's from, I think they're called IDF Films, and I think his name was Godfried Ho. I'm just gonna double check that. Yeah, Godfrey Ho. And what he did, the guy's like directed like over 100 movies, and there's a whole bunch of them, and a lot of them say Scorpion or Thunderbolt or Ninja or Mission. So there could be Scorpion Mission or Scorpion Ninja or Ninja Mission or Ninja Thunderbolt or, you know, whatever. There's a whole set of those, slew of those things. And what it is it's actually a mashup. He takes another film, which is... and it's the mainstay of this film. It's a story about... Well, it's kind of hard to explain, really. Oh man, how would you explain this movie? It is... Well, the movie that it was cut from is called Grudge of the Sleepwalking Woman. And what that is... Well, there's this girl, and it starts off the movie, and there's snakes involved, and some people getting killed, and then eventually a guy kills this other guy, and the snake demon possesses a girl, and that moves into the main story, and the snake demon girl goes around killing people. And then you have this detective who's trying to figure it out and follow it and do all this kind of stuff. So, on one hand, you got this snake killings, which are pretty cool. And then you've got this detective doing, pretty straightforward detective work going off. Eventually, I think they hook up. And then you've got this weird side story, which has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with this movie in general. And this is what Godfrey Ho does, is he takes an unknown film, and then he'll take either another film and splice them together to make a new film, or he'll shoot some footage, almost always martial arts and often containing some kind of an American actor in an attempt to gain an international audience. And in this case, it's Richard Harrison, a mainstay, I guess, of his films. He's in a lot of them. And he's in there and he's off trying to defeat some, I don't know. There's some nudity when he's involved, and then such a weird movie. He's trying to destroy this evil witch who lives in a castle, I guess. That's the way you'd say it. So his scenes have nothing to do with this snake girl. But what they've done is they take this witch doing, some spells or something, sparse that with a guy who's playing the like a flute or something that has a tune that essentially turns the girl into her snake monster. And so that's how they're trying to mesh the two films, but it just totally doesn't work. But it's so much fun. Oh my god, it's terrible. It is absolutely terrible, but it's so terrible and so weird that you just gotta like it. And there's some good stuff in it too. There's some good gore scenes and some, well, I wouldn't say good, but cheesy good, and the rubber snake costume type thing. So it's a lot of fun, but yeah. But that is Asian. Next up, though I had already seen it, I watched Ichi the Killer. Classic. It's essentially like a Yakuza film, but because of the ultra violence and uber gore, it falls into the horror category, as well as, like action and stuff. Yeah, if you haven't seen Ichi the Killer yet, and you like those, crazy gore movies, check it out, because it's definitely one of the, well, it's pretty much the movie that put Takashi Miike on the map. This is the one. He had other ones, but this is the one that put him out and brought him into, North American audiences and such like that. But the reason why I watched that is because I wanted to watch Ichi 1, which is the prequel to Ichi the Killer. And essentially this is just a school bully film, and it has, if it wasn't for Ichi the Killer, I wouldn't even include this one, but because of Ichi the Killer, I am including this one, because really it has nothing going for it until the end, and then some of the uber gore comes out. But really, this is the what low budget independent Japanese film looks like. It looks bad, the acting's bad, everything about it is bad, and you just sort of watch it for the story because there's nothing else really going for it. This would be Hollywood. This would be Full Moon, I guess, in comparison. Yeah, it's just the nice thing about this is you can see it over here. Is now Mori reprises his role as Ichi, so there is that at least going for it. There is the continuity of the Ichi character being there, but it's just a stupid, and it's not even a good bullying story. It's just a stupid bullying story. Much like the Itchy the Killer bullying story, but at least that was over the top. Oh, yes. Next up is a film called Memento Mori from 1999. The original title to this is, and here I go, Yogo Godam 2. So this is supposedly the one before Wishing Stairs, part of the Whispering Corridors trilogy. And again, it has this lesbian relationship type thing going on. And they have this diary between them. And one of them ends up dying. And then a new girl ends up getting into the relationship. And through this diary, I guess she becomes a little bit infatuated with, she finds the diary and she's reading it. And whether she's being possessed by a ghost of the original girl or not, it's hard to say. But there's a relationship that forms, and eventually what happens is the ghost of the girl who died comes back with a vengeance, and she locks everybody in the school, and crazy stuff starts happening, and yeah, it just starts getting this sort of like a, it's revenge, but it's not revenge. It's almost like, it's sort of like a lover's quarrel between people who actually love each other. So there's some real development in terms of their characters and their emotions and their relationship status, if you want, the way they deal with their relationships and each other, and things just start going crazy, and eventually, you know, it finishes off not really scary, but it is a ghost story, and it's, yeah, the trilogy, you really should see all the three in the trilogy. I haven't seen Whispering Corridors yet. Probably should have watched that one first and had it in here, but I don't own it. So yeah, they're very, very sweet horror movies. A lot of drama. The whole first half is always drama, and then comes in and supernatural things start happening, and then eventually supernatural climax. So don't go into them expecting a lot. So yeah, that'd be the same for both Wishing Stairs and Memento Mori. Both are good films. They're not great films, and they're not for everybody, but they're highly enjoyable. Finally, as I had mentioned, I got Battle Royale. So, first I watched Battle Royale, or Batoru Royale. Yeah, there goes my Japanese. My grandpa, he would be so upset with me. But I had already seen Battle Royale. And if you haven't seen Battle Royale, but you've seen Hunger Games, Hunger Games ripped off this movie. It ripped it off. And you can't say it didn't, because it so did. It's the same damn thing. Which is why Battle Royale is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Battle Royale 2, on the other hand, I only included in my 31 Days of Horror because A, it's got quite a bit of gore, but it's a sequel to Battle Royale. By itself, it's essentially a war movie. So you've got the continuing characters left over from the first movie who are essentially holding some kind of revolt against adults. And Battle Royale 2 is a game where they bring in a bunch of new kids and send them off to kill the original kids on an island. And it's essentially, they just, you know, the original kids have built this fort, and these new kids are attacking it, and it's just guns. They're just going at each other. It's not, it doesn't have the social commentary the first film had. In fact, the only real message in Battle Royale 2 is against American war policies. So, yeah, I include it. I wouldn't, as an action film, it's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, Battle Royale 2 is a fun movie. But compared to Battle Royale, it has no comparison at all. Battle Royale is awesome. It was original, and there's been several movies since that have imitated it, have been a similar subject, including Hunger Games. Battle Royale 2, completely different, but still enjoyable, but more action, more like an army film rather than, well, a horror film, essentially. So yeah, 2 films in this thing where I probably wouldn't include them if it wasn't for the original films in the series. So I'm still including them. They're going on the list. Not that I needed them, obviously, but whatever. That's not the point. When I put them on the list, they go on the list and they stay on the list. And, you know, I would review them for a horror website. You know, they are not straightforward horror, but, you know, horror all the same. So, yeah, that was all the Asian films. So, I watched most of those before, or just, you know, a few during Toronto After Dark, during some of the days I took off. Yeah. I will have more movies next time. So, if you've seen any of these movies, I'm sure a lot of you have seen Battle Royale. I'm sure of that. But let me know about any of the other ones. Let me know if you've seen them. And yeah, post a comment down in the doobly-doo. I look forward to hearing from you. And yeah, until next time, you take care. I'll see you in the next one.